Irish poet William Butler Yeats once said, "Education is not the filling of a pot, it's the lighting of a fire." This quote and the practice of education, to me, speaks substantial volumes about the value that education holds on a global scale. It demonstrates that education is simply not just a personal asset to be displayed on one's LinkedIn profile, but it manages to perform as a foundation in our everyday lives. The Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are a universal set of 17 interconnected goals, targets, and indicators that UN member states are expected to use to frame their agendas and political policies over the time span until the year 2030. In regards to the 17 SDGs, which came into full force in 2016, the fourth goal specifically supports Yeats' quote as it strives to ensure inclusive and equitable education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Quality education for all is important to me as, according to the Atlas of Sustainable Development Goals, fulfilling this SDG by 2030 would increase enrollment at school, which leads to an empowered citizenry and a more productive labor force. It also examines quality of education, which plays a large role in sustainable development and poverty alleviation. Also, investment in human capital at various ages accelerates improvement in other areas. As previously mentioned, I believe that education is the foundation to our everyday lives, but in specific regards to the SDGs, I believe that achieving quality education for all is the starting point for making progress or potentially accomplishing the other 16 SDGs. In my mind, it's kind of like bowling. Once you manage to hit that one pin, the opportunity for knocking down the other pins is higher, which paves the way to gaining more points, or in other words, making progress or potentially accomplishing more SDGs. A simple example of this overlap of SDGs would be when you educate an individual on proper sanitation or food preparation, such as how to wash your hands properly, boil water, different forms of hygiene, etc. This will stop the spread of disease in countries, which will provide children with the opportunity to attend school because they are not sick. Within this example, we can see that the integration of education has achieved two other SDGs, which are clean water and sanitation and good health and well-being. Evidently, there is much overlap between the SDGs, which is beneficial when trying to accomplish them. But next, I will give a more broad and dynamic example of how education for all plays an important role within the cycle of poverty and economies. To start off, education broadens one's access to opportunities, improves health, and bolsters the resilience of communities, all while fueling economic growth in a way that can reinforce and accelerate these processes. Education also provides the skills people need to thrive in the new sustainable economy, working in areas such as renewable energy, smart agriculture, forest rehabilitation, the design of resource-efficient cities, and sound management of healthy ecosystems. Education can also shape new generations of youth through integrating curriculums that foster pressing issues. On a more personal level, this SDG is important to me, as through my travels I have seen the implications that have risen due to the lack of education. I embarked on 2 youth volunteer trips to the Amazon and to India to help with local holistic initiatives to improve impoverished communities abroad. And through both of these trips, I saw that if education were provided, that many of these individuals' basic human rights could be met. Overall, quality education for all is the SDG that's most important to me, and I believe that if governments truly adopt these 17 quantifiable goals, then we'll be able to unite as a global community and be en route for healthy global development. Thank you.